There's a moment in almost every man's life where he looks at the woman he loves and realizes she no longer talks to him the way she used to. She used to smile at him. Now she sighs at him. She used to listen. Now she interrupts. She used to admire him. Now she corrects him like a child. And the saddest part? He can't even pinpoint when it started. That's how disrespect begins, not with a storm, but with a drizzle. Drip by drip, day by day, week by week. Small comments that you laugh off, tones you pretend not to hear. Eye rolls you convince yourself don't really matter. Moments where she acts irritated by your very existence, and you're standing there trying to win back a warmth she isn't giving anymore. Most men don't realize it, but the first time she disrespects you is the moment the relationship quietly begins to die. Because disrespect is not loud at first. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's soft enough to confuse you and small enough that you feel stupid saying anything. A sigh, a sarcastic remark, a joke at your expense in front of friends, a dismissive whatever, a cold shoulder when you express your opinion. And when you let those moments slide, you think you're choosing peace, but you're not. You're choosing erosion. Women don't disrespect men they deeply admire. Women don't talk down to men they feel safe with. Women don't poke at the boundaries of men they value. They test men to see if they can respect them. Not to destroy them, but to understand them. Women will test you unconsciously the same way a child tests a fence. Is it strong? Or can I push through it? She needs to know your emotional walls aren't made of cardboard. The moment she realizes she can get away with disrespect is the moment her love begins to suffocate. And this is where men make the biggest mistake. They think love will save them. They think being patient will fix it. They think giving more will bring her back. But in the real world, that only accelerates the disrespect. Let me bring this to life with a real example. A man wrote to me once. Good man, hardworking, raised to be gentle, raised to keep the peace. He said, Mr. Eugene, my girlfriend used to be sweet. Now she teases me in front of her friends, says things like, he's clueless, don't mind him, and rolls her eyes every time I talk. I asked him, when did it start? He said, I think it started the day she snapped at me about forgetting to buy milk. And I apologized even though it wasn't my fault. That was it. That's how it starts. With milk. With nothing. She tested him. He folded. She learned she can push him. Once a woman learns she can push you, she will keep pushing. Not because she's evil, but because she's seeking the edges of your strength. She needs to know where the lines are. She needs to know how far she can go before you stand up like a man and say, enough. Because if you don't say it, her respect for you evaporates. There's another scenario I've seen too many times. A couple goes out with friends. Everyone's laughing, having a good time. Then she cracks a joke about him. Not a playful one, but one that genuinely cuts. Or something like, he's useless with money. He can't make decisions to save his life. He always forgets things. Typical him. Everyone laughs. He smiles awkwardly. He doesn't want to make a scene. But what he doesn't understand is this. In that moment, she felt comfortable lowering his status publicly. In that moment, she announced to everyone, I don't fear consequences from disrespecting this man. Every insult she makes in public is a truth she's been holding privately. Women don't embarrass men they respect. Here's another real-world example. One that will hurt because it's common. A man sits in the car with his girlfriend. He starts sharing a goal he has, something meaningful, maybe a business idea, maybe a dream he's been thinking about. And instead of supporting him, she smirks and says, be serious. You always say that. You're not focused enough to do that. That's not just disrespect. That's emotional castration. And worst of all, most men silence themselves afterward. They stop sharing dreams, stop expressing opinions, stop taking up space. They shrink to avoid conflict. They shrink hoping she'll love them again. But she doesn't love a smaller version of you. She only respects the man who isn't afraid to be big. This is where psychology comes in. Every therapist will tell you, a woman cannot feel romantic love for a man she does not respect. Her love tracks her respect. Your strength is the oxygen to her attraction. When you lose respect, the relationship suffocates. You've seen it. The man keeps trying harder. The woman keeps withdrawing more. He buys flowers. She gets colder. He apologizes. She gets sharper. He plans dates. She acts annoyed. Because none of that fixes the real problem. She can feel you're afraid of losing her. And women do not love men who fear losing them. They love men who fear losing themselves. Let me give you a scene from real life that I personally witnessed. A man and woman arguing in a grocery store. Nothing dramatic, just normal irritation. She said something snappy. He raised his voice slightly. She stepped closer, pointed a finger in his face and hissed, "Don't you ever talk back to me like that." He immediately backtracked. Sorry, okay. And that was the moment she mentally checked out of that relationship. Because she realized she was dating a man who could be folded, not a man who could be followed. Here's the twist no one tells you. A woman doesn't want to be dominant in a relationship. She doesn't want to steamroll you. She doesn't want to talk down to you. She only does it when she feels you won't hold the line. A woman feels safest, most feminine, when she's with a man who has boundaries so solid she can lean on them. And the moment you let her disrespect you, that's the moment she stops feeling safe with you. Now, let me paint one last picture, because this one is the most common of all. Sunday afternoon. The home is quiet. You're watching TV or on your phone. She walks by and gives a passive-aggressive remark. "You're always lying around. Must be nice to relax." "Can you actually do something useful today?" You laugh it off. Pretend it didn't bother you. But she feels it. Or she feels the way your shoulders sank. She feels the way you silently absorbed it. And here is where everything changes. She loses trust in your ability to hold emotional structure. Because you didn't correct her. You didn't stand up. You didn't call it out calmly and firmly. And she starts to feel like the adult. And you become the child. Once that happens, the relationship is no longer romantic. It becomes maternal. And nothing kills female desire faster than feeling like your mother. You want to know the real cure to disrespect? Not shouting, not arguments, not ultimatums. Boundaries, a calm, steady, centered voice saying, "Don't talk to me that way." That's it. No anger, no threats, just truth. Because when a man finally stands up, something shifts inside her. She exhales, her shoulders drop. Her femininity comes back. The tension evaporates. Because she finally feels protected, even from herself. When you stop trying to avoid conflict, when you stop shrinking, when you stop fearing her reactions, that's when she starts loving you again. If you take one thing from this entire message, let it be this. A woman cannot love you more than she respects you, and she cannot respect you more than you respect yourself. That is the deeper, harder. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, because if this message helped you in any way, you can want to help others too.